Yes, and welcome back to the Ash Williams Show. My name is Ash Williams, and I am fired up. How the fuck are ya? Give it to me, Slash. He's back. Yeah, he's back. We welcome back Slash, the first guitarist to the Ash Williams Show, and he's still the best. Take that, Cavaliero, you son of a bitch. We still don't know who the keyboardist is. Would love to know. Text in. Actually, we just got a text. Literally just got a motherfucking text on the hotline. And what is this? It says, check out the guy on the keyboard from Sarah. And there's a link. This could be sending me to Russia. Let's hope so. Friends in the area who want to fuck. Beautiful. Oh, it says, this is way too hard to explain on a podcast, and I'm not even going to bother, but we'll put that on our social media. It's a keyboard video from Germany. How the fuck are you? Coming to you from a brand new makeshift studio. We've lost our studio. Yeah. A new property company's come into my studio and I've lost it. So coming to you from a table now in my actual office. It's bare boned. If you're watching this on YouTube, enjoy it. We got protein shit everywhere. Chairs that are rickety. They're not even fucking. If I was at a restaurant right now and I sat on this chair, I'd go and get a napkin. I'd go and get so many fucking napkins. You know, that's a good idea for a cafe. It's like, our chairs may be rickety, but our napkins are stable. And all I've got is just the highest quality napkins to make the chairs comfortable. What are we talking about? You might be able to tell I haven't slept in a few days. A mate of mine, or who I thought was a mate, gave me a drink. And he said, hey, drink this. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, it's amino acids. I don't even know what that means. So I drank it. Guess what it was? Pre-workout. Now, I haven't tasted the devil's drink for quite some time. But I've had a couple of tough nights. I thought I was going to die on Tuesday night. Literally thought I was going to die because pre-workout, if you've ever drunk it, makes you feel like you're going to have multiple heart attacks at the same time. Look, don't get me wrong. Some people are into that, but I'm not at the moment. I'm trying to get some rest, trying to focus on the podcast. And I thought I was going to die Tuesday night. I made a lot of prayers to God. Do you ever make those prayers to God and you're like, hey, God, it's me. And my prayer on Tuesday was, if you get me through tonight, I'd love that. Amen. I'm a very religious guy. And you know what that is? Shout out to God for getting me through Tuesday night. Thank you so much, big guy. Yeah, or big girl. We don't know. We just do not know. Could be a big dog. A big dog. A massive dog in the sky. Now, that'd just blow everyone's hair back. That God was a dog. I would fucking love that. I would love that. Walked around on all fours. And you're patting. Anyway, whatever. So, yeah. Been on the pre-workout. Making prayers to God, good times. Just straight off the top rope, we've got a brand new show on Patreon called the Ash Williams Show Black Market Edition, which is everything I can't say on this podcast, which really doesn't make sense because I do say pretty much anything on this podcast, but I've had a real swing in the first episode on Patreon. Real swing. So if you want even more scoop with even more potential lawsuits, get on Patreon. It's available for all Patreon. $2 a month will get you there, and there's all sorts of shit going on in there. Actually, you know what? Let's play a bit now so you can get a feel for what the black market episodes might sound like. I'm going to dovetail from a Thailand story into some celebrity scoop. What I didn't mention on the podcast is then he went through a lot of the pricing structure in Thailand. So this is some of the stuff you'll get in the black market. You'll get some, superfluous smut is... and he's like, he goes, so there's a place you go and it's $15 for sex. And I go, $15 for sex? Good deal. He goes, yeah, great deal. And but he goes, but listen, if you want the best sex, the best, there's a place you can go and pay $45 for sex and a massage. And I'm like, what? Why is the massage so expensive? Make sure you arrive at the Comedy Store tomorrow at 9 a.m. sharp. You, me, and Kevin Hart are going to be going through all of the old rubbish at the Comedy Store. Just 3 best mates hanging out. And I was like, done. So I turned up. It's so funny when you meet people for the first time just before cameras start filming and you're meant to be best friends. Paulie's introducing me to Kevin. Ash, this is Kevin. Okay, you guys are best friends too. Kevin's like, what? Patreon.com/Ash Williams Show. Now, I have a story for you. And then we're going to get to some can't say who's, get some voicemails, get some texts. Oh, by the way, we haven't done a fucking simultaneous sipper. Okay? Now, if you're watching this on YouTube again, we have, I think, 32 subscribers now. So we are flying. I've got a cardboard cup. And the cardboard cup says, I am not paper. So whatever. The cardboard cup might be God. Who knows? We drink the blood of God. What is it? We drink the blood of Christ. Has anyone ever stopped a podcast for a nap and kept recording? Like my niece. I'm like my niece. Time for a nap. I might have a 20-minute nap and come back. And you can listen to me have dreams. You know? I had a dream last night that I was... And look, I'm not turning this podcast into dreams, but this is a fun dream. And I don't want you to analyze it. I just want you to enjoy the dream for what it was. Now, I'm in the lift with 3 massive dudes. And they say, I don't know these guys, right? And this was like literally 2 hours ago. I had this dream 2 hours ago, so it's fresh. It's like it actually happened. And these guys go, let's rape this guy. And I was like, hang on, what? And they're like, yeah, we're going to rape you. Like in the lift. And they're like, yeah. And these guys were huge. And I was like, I'm just going to have to beat the shit out of all of them. And like, you're making so many quick decisions in that moment about whether you should beat them up or whether you should actually just sit back and enjoy it and try and play a trick on yourself. And maybe you'll enjoy that, you know, feeling of being plugged up in a lift. And then they're like, all right, let's stop the lift and rape him. And then I was like, shit, I got to fucking do something. These guys are going to get me. And then I rang the fire alarm in the lift. And it was so loud. And all the rapers ran out of the lift, except one guy. He stayed in the lift. But he was the nicest of all the rapers. Like, he wasn't really into it. He was like my friend. And I think he stayed at the end. And then I woke up. And then I've come here. To record a podcast. But maybe that's what pre-workout does. It gives you beautiful, wet dreams, or, you know, I'm sure some people would be into that. God, if I was gay, That's a hot story. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? I mean, if they were women, I go, hey, drink this pre-workout and you're going to have a dream that you get raped by 3 women in a lift. I'm buying that pre-workout. I'm buying it. Golly gosh, I'm fired up. I don't know if it's the pre-workout. I don't know if it's the new studio. We have shit everywhere, but I feel good about this new studio. Boom, boom, boom. Got a story for you. On the weekend, my brother said, we're taking Scarlett, my niece, to the aquarium. And he said, you should come. I said, yeah. Well, I might. So on Sunday, I turned up to the aquarium without telling my brother. It was going to be a surprise, and I was going to just turn up and tap him on the shoulder, tap my niece on the shoulder, and say, howdy doody, Mr. Doody. And I was there with someone very special to me, who I will maybe divulge in a further podcast. Maybe the Patreon Black Market, I can divulge that information. So we turned up to the aquarium at the same time as agreed, 2:30, Sydney Aquarium. By the way, here's something you might like. They said the aquarium was sold out. And friends, there's always a way. There's always a way. You've just got to, you're like a mouse running through a maze trying to get the cheese. If you butt your head up against a dead end, turn around. Keep sniffing the cheese. There's a way out. I knew I needed that cheese. So the lady says, sorry, we're sold out. And I said to the girl I was with, I said, listen, it's all good. I'll sort this out. I'm like big in Sex and the City, kind of, but more smooth and less rich. And and then I went up to another lady and she said, sorry, we're sold out. And I said, listen, what's your name? And she said, whatever. I wasn't really listening. She's like, and I said, listen, you're a good person. I know that. And it's my niece's birthday in there. And it would mean the world to me if I could get in there and just share that with her. And this woman who was about 60, 50, went in and said, let me see what I can do. Hey, friends, we got into the aquarium. Yeah. Does Big in Sex and the City do that? Has he ever gotten carried into a fucking sold out aquarium? I don't think so. I know he's done like some Broadway stuff, but yeah, I reckon I got Big covered. So we go to the aquarium and couldn't find my brother. And the whole time I'm looking forward to creeping up on my brother, and gets to the end of the aquarium and couldn't see him. So I texted him and said, mate, are you at the aquarium? And he said, no, we've just left on the way home. And I said, I'm here. So he calls me later that night and he doesn't believe that I was at the aquarium. He thinks it's all a ruse. And he's like, if you were really at the aquarium, why didn't you call me? I'm like, because I wanted it to be a surprise. So he gave me a test on whether I was actually at the aquarium. And he said, if you really were at the aquarium, how many sharks were in there? I'm like, how many sharks were in there? Is that your question? I don't know. He goes, well, you didn't go. I go, that's fucking bullshit. I did go. I'll tell you how many sharks there were roughly, probably 10. And I'll tell you something else. There were no man-eating sharks in there. There were only grey motherfucking nurses. Yeah? I tell you, I'm not going to the aquarium to see no grey motherfucking nurses. Anyway, I digress. I'm going to hit my brother between the eyes, though, like a hammerhead shark tomorrow, because I've got the receipt from the aquarium. So I can't wait to show him that. Let's get some texts, huh? But hang on, before we do that, sorry, folks. It's the pre-workout. We haven't done our simultaneous sip. Okay, get your drink. 3, 2, 1. That's fucking delish. That's delish. You know what I've been doing? So you get the flat white. You drink half, top it up with hot water. Then you have a couple more sips, top it up with hot water. One more sip. You get the idea. So right now, this is on my probably 5th or 6th top up of hot water. It's so runny. It's so runny, but I like it runny. Like John Cleese in the cheese shop sketch. If you haven't seen that on YouTube, watch that. It's a classic sketch. And he goes, the cheese shop attendant goes, "Oh, the cheese is particularly runny, sir." And I think John Cleese goes, "Never fear, I like it runny."
It's a bit runny, sir.
Oh, I like it runny.
Maybe I'll put that clip on something for you to watch. Let's get some text on the hotline. 0406284954. Folks, this has been maybe the loosest step we've done in a while. Is the I can't say who from last week, the footballer who had sex with his premiership teammate's girlfriend, Alex Rance. You know what? It is not Alex Rance. Good guess, though. Very, very good guess. Similar position. Very similar position. I can't give you any more clues than that. Let's get another text. Hey, Ash, it's Jane Sasori here. Is this week's I Can't Say Who Alex Rance? Also, there's another can't say who you might have to add to the list. Going back to the Melbourne live show, Tony Martin spoke about someone from the 1990s that prompted your hot pans of wee voice work. Would love to know who that was. Have a great weekend, Jane. I do not know who that was. I'll have to go back and listen to that. And again, no, it's not Alex Rance. Shout out to Rancy.
Shout out.
Yeah, Rancy, how the fuck are ya? Who you playing for this year, dog? Someone sent me a picture of a guy. This is so gross. Rhea, Jack, if you are listening, I'm about to talk about cum for about 10 seconds, so tune out. I just got a text, a photo of a guy gargling cum. Truly disgusting. And the text accompanying that says, "Hi, Mr. Williams. I thought of you when I saw this. Not in a perverted way. You know what I mean. It's just the things you find on Twitter, eh? This guy's been eating those new M&Ms. All right, that's a pretty good reference to that M&M cum photo I put on Twitter and Insta. So there you go. Check that photo out. Another text. I still can't believe it wasn't Joel Creasy who was fucking in the bushes at Splendor in the Grass. But he probably would have told us himself, and it wouldn't be a classic can't say who. Exactly. He would have told you. You know what's funny? Creasy in his show, one of his shows, talks about how he had a relationship with an AFL footballer. Now, we've got to try and find out who that is. I have my suspicions, but I'm certainly gathering evidence. And don't you worry. You'll be the first to hear it as soon as I solve that case. Also, on the weekend, I called Patreon members telling them the Splendor story with the answer. And I called like 30 people. And I got to say, you're all so lovely. So lovely. So shout out to you guys. We called all around Australia. I even did a FaceTime to London. I woke some poor dude up. It was weird. And I was like, don't worry, you're not dreaming. Okay, you're not in a lift. I'm not going to rape you. Go back to sleep. But what I will say is we have a brand new tier on Patreon called the $4 worth of petrol tier, where you get all the I Can't Say Who's plus the new Black Market weekly episodes. And someone who I spoke to on the weekend, a Patreon member, even gave me his very own Can't Say Who, which I'm going to share. And I don't think it's that secret. It kind of rings a bell to me, but here it is. Which former AFL footballer used to get jiggy with Princess Mary? All right? I think it's kind of well known, but which AFL footballer used to get jiggy with Princess Mary? Let's get some voicemails.
G'day, Ash. Chris calling from head office. Just checking in with all this coronavirus stuff going on, catching up on the episodes. Also been catching up on the episodes of the Ed Cavalier podcast with you, Format Fixes. If people haven't heard that, if any Cap 500 haven't heard that, they got to get across and listen to that. Top quality Ash and Ed content. Just heard you talking about different formats for Big Brother, and down here at the head office, we've been brainstorming a few others. We'll just sort of go through those just quickly so you think of them. First one we've got is Wig Brother, and yeah, they all do rhyme with big. So this is a series of Big Brother where half the contestants secretly have their heads shaved at the beginning of the series and are fitted with like top of the line professional Hollywood level wigs that you can't tell the difference, and the audience have to vote based on whether they think someone's have their real hair or a wig or not, and they get voted out based on that. Next one is Mig Brother, which is a reality show crossover between Big Brother and the Soviet Union fighter and interceptor aircraft division, which is specifically based on the MiG supersonic jet fighters, and they just fly around in those on the Friday night challenges with elimination dogfights, where the person who gets evicted is the person who dies in the airplane dogfight. Next, we've got Fig Brother, which is a series of Big Brother where every contestant has to eat 100 figs a day, but there's only one toilet to share. Then we've got Gig Brother, which is a new series of Big Brother where all the contestants are stand-up comedians who've been performing exclusively at open mic comedy nights for over 5 years with no paid gigs. And they have to do a new 5 minutes of comedy every week, and the winner of the series gets booked to do their first 10-minute gig at a real comedy club. Next, we've got Cig Brother, as in cigarette, and it's a reality show crossover between Big Brother and Philip Morris International, which I think should give us some good money. And the contestant who smokes the most cigarettes that week has eviction immunity. So probably not immunity to much else, but just eviction. Next, we've got Big Brother, which is a series of Big Brother set on a remote West Australian mining town where the contestants do 12 hours on, 12-hour off mining shifts, but also everything else like Big Brother applies. They're mic'd up all the time, filmed all the time. Friday night games in those giant trucks. And
He's gone. He's actually, I think Chris may have been shot because he's certainly not going to stop talking. It's officially the longest voicemail we've ever received. You know what, though? There's some very funny stuff in there, Chris. There's quite a funny voicemail. I do like Wig Brother. I think Wig Brother has got real legs. And I love Sig Brother. Sig Brother's great. So I think it should be a hybrid of Wig Brother and Sig Brother. Who's wearing the wig? We don't know. Person who smokes the most cigs gets immunity. Actually, why don't we just do them all? Fig Brother as well. You do all of it. Gig Brother's funny too. But I think you do Wig, Sig, Fig. Really good stuff. Let's get another voicemail.
Hi, Ash. Sven here. First time listener, long time caller, however you say that. I just wanted to let you know some information about Hey Hey not being recorded live. When I went to primary school, Raymond J. Bartholomew, or Brian Nankervis, came to visit, and he said that things were never live, unless there was something in the news or something important they couldn't be ignorant of. And the other one was an audio producer came to visit my high school, and he said the same thing. So, anyway, Hey Hey wasn't live. Make some noise.
There you go. It's official. Hey Hey wasn't live. JFK wasn't killed. There it is. Okay. But did we put a man on the moon? You know, these are the big questions. Just have some pondering moments now in the pod. I don't think there's enough pondering. And that's not dead air, it's pondering. Okay. We all ponder these things. Was JFK killed? Did we put a man on the moon? And was Hey Hey live? Let's ponder that for a moment, friends. It's a good ponder. And that is the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. For anything extra, and of course the Black Market Edition episodes, patreon.com/Ash Williams Show. Also, you'll be forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement if you choose to listen to those episodes, because I can't risk any legal blowback. One celeb absolutely cops it in that episode, and it's only a matter of time before the lawyers come knocking. Of course, you've got the old Ash and Ed episodes there too, so get to Patreon. Thank you so much for listening. This is the Ash Williams Show, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days. Take care and stay safe. Bye-bye. The Ash Williams Show is recorded in front of a live studio audience, but due to coronavirus, there is no audience, so you can't hear the laughs. And just a little bit of something at the back here. And speaking of the back, Paul has still been messaging. Do we call him back? Okay. We're going to do a poll. No pun intended. Just DM me, actually. Do you want me to call Paul back? I'll call him back if you do. And shout out to Josh for doing a foot deal with me during the week. Shout out to you, Joshy. Take care. Bye-bye.